Hi guys, this is Cassandra. So today we're going to do a Phalenopsis, sort of what I have collection video type thing. Not my minis because I've already done a video on that, but just my full-size phals. So this one is already dropped most of its flowers, and it's quite washed out. When it's not washed out, this is a deep golden, orangey yellow with the burgundy kind of spreading to the petals, and this is a lot darker. But this is the golden, I think it's called Golden Beauty, so that's that. The plant itself is quite nice. It's really dirty. I should have washed it for the video, but it's a huge plant. The leaves are a little bit twisty. You can really see it in that leaf, but it's a huge phal. And if we just want to take a look at the roots together really quick, I'll try to keep this video as short as possible, but who doesn't like a good root system? I haven't repotted this since I got it because actually it was branching before I cut it, but both of the flower spikes are branching, and I know that the Golden Beauty is she's famous for branching, so yep. Lots of good roots in this pot. The medium's a little broken down. So that's her. Next is my friend's sick orchid, which if you watched my other video, we repotted this guy together. So just an update, the leaf is growing and looking good. Just repotted, so it's hard to see. The roots are really dehydrated and not so great. But with some love, I think this guy will come around. This is an orchid I haven't shown you yet. This is kind of a funny story. I always go to this one grocery store and they don't take good care of their orchids. So they always have discounted orchids because they always drop their flowers really fast and they're always dehydrated. So this guy was super droopy, wrinkled leaves, the whole bit. I picked him up for $5 because he had a flower spike that they had broken, I suppose. And the exciting thing is that I could tell by the color of the flower spike and the way it broke that they had the flower spike behind the counter in a glass vase, and I like snuck behind the counter and connected it to make sure it was the right flower spike. And it was just absolutely beautiful. So I'm really hoping I was right. And it is like the dark, dark, dark purple with the white outside on the rim, like almost black. So I've never seen this orchid in a grocery store before, and I'm really hoping that this is who this is. And yeah, I got him like he's actually not progressing very quickly. I think I showed you the roots, but he hasn't grown any new roots or new leaves since I got him. Got him about 3 weeks ago, maybe a month ago. His leaves have firmed up. They look pretty good. So yeah, hoping for big things from this guy. Now, I love this orchid. I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but this is one of my favorites. I also got this one at a discount, and it's really like lopsided. Just ignore it. I got it from Home Depot. The pot is like really cheap plastic, but it's inside another pot on the inside. So it's got lots of leaves. Ever since I brought it home, I love this orchid because it is so, like, he's just growing all the time. Like, I've never seen him not do anything. This whole leaf here is within the last month. Look how huge this leaf is. And that reddy color is normal. That just means it's receiving adequate lighting. Those random spots, however, I don't know what those are, so if you do, please let me know. It's only on the new leaf. But yeah, there's like 100 growing tips in here. Every single root is growing, and look, I want to show you this. It hasn't even been 6 months since it bloomed last, and wouldn't you know, under the second leaf, we have this beautiful flower spike starting for me. So let's check out the roots. Have you ever seen so many growing tips? And there is more, but I won't show you them all. A bunch at the top. Just a really nice orchid. It's my second oldest orchid, actually. Had it for maybe a year. No, maybe actually, yeah, I think 6 months. I don't know. But anyway, it wasn't flowering when I got it, and it took a long time because it was growing so many crazy roots. So I don't know what this is going to be. So this is this guy. It's really sad. When I went away on vacation, he got crown rot from the person who was babysitting him for me. And yeah, he lost all of his leaves. And this is a full-size phal, believe it or not. He lost all his leaves, pretty much all his roots were rotted, and he popped out 2 new leaves. This is one of them, and he was doing well, and then these leaves could not support him. He's just sick, and one of the leaves was really bad. I had to cut it off. This one's looking okay. Well, it's not okay, but he's still getting some use out of that leaf. Then he popped out this new leaf, and it's looking really good. So this has been a year recovery. He had crown rot about a year ago, and this is as much as he's done. He has a little root there. He also, I won't dig it up, he has a little root about this big. So he's working hard. I'm really happy with him. Maybe one day in a year from now we'll do an update and you'll see a beautiful orchid before you, but for now, this is all we got. Okay, so this is one of my downstairs orchids. They live in my kitchen window. He actually did look worse when I got him, if you can believe it. I've had him for about a month. He was sitting in the discount bin, and I just knew nobody was going to take him home. He was out of his pot. He was going to get thrown in the garbage, so I spent $5 on him. When I did get him, though, it was nice because he had 2 giant flower spikes full of the most perfect white with the burgundy inside lip orchid flowers. And he had 2 flower spikes, and he was droopier than this. And the flowers were all dehydrated, and I thought they were going to fall off. But you know what? I actually got a month out of them. I ended up cutting one of the flower spikes just because I felt sorry for him. He couldn't support everything, and I should have cut both. But I was selfish, and I spent a month enjoying one of his flower spikes. And it was lovely. The flowers were perfect waterfall shape. It was just beautiful. So I look forward to more blooms from this guy. He's got a new leaf here. His other leaves are firming up. I swear they are. And I don't think we can see any roots because I've repotted him. A few roots, no new growing tips. Not since I've had him anyway that I can see. This orchid was actually a gift from my husband, and it is also beautiful, one of my favorites. Putting out a new, there we go, a new leaf there. Look at these leaves. They're kind of warped. They were in one of those bags that some of them come in, but really nice looking orchid. It had 2 giant flower spikes full, but then I went and moved it, and so it dropped all its flowers, except it did, if I can show you, form another bud, and on that bud was this flower. Now this is kind of weird because it's actually a different color than when I brought it home. I think it's just because it's stressed. But yeah, there was definitely more like pattern in the leaves. It was lighter. A lot of people have this orchid. The back is yellow, and there was more yellow in the leaves. So that's what that looks like. It's really beautiful actually, but yeah, only 1 flower. I'm thinking one of the other buds might be underneath there. Yeah, it might make another one, but I know I should cut this off, but I just like the 1 flower, so I'm leaving it. Let's see these roots. Okay, so these roots are a little bit dehydrated. It's actually my fault because I didn't water it enough because it's downstairs. It got forgotten. But it's got like a fantastic root system. Do you see all these roots? Have you ever seen so many roots? And it's from a grocery store, too. I managed to get it. I paid he paid full price for this one, so $20. It comes in a pot, and that's what our cost of orchids usually is at the grocery stores. You'd never believe it based on the way it looks now, but this orchid was amazing when I bought it. I paid $30, which is like crazy for a phal, at least around here. And the reason is because it had the most gigantic, I'm talking like tall, it was a waterfall orchid is what they call it, and it had flowers like the size of my hand. So I don't know much about these type of, I know that some phals are more prone to having larger flowers, so I'm not sure if this will have huge flowers every time it blooms, if it's happy, but if you know, let me know, because I'm serious. The blooms were like this gigantic, the size of my palm, and there were so many of them, and they were just beautiful, and it like came up and down in a curve, and it was absolutely stunning. Huge flower spike, must have been 4 feet long. No joke. So, I'm sorry I'm out of breath. I'm just really excited. So anyway, I cut her flower spike because she had mealybugs and they were dropping her flowers like crazy, so I had to cut it and repot her, and she did drop a few leaves under the stress because she was in sphagnum moss before that. So I switched her to bark. No new growing tips yet. This leaf is new. It's been growing since I got her, and it's looking good. Alright. Oh, and just because I forgot, the flowers on the big waterfall guy, they're the white with the burgundy inside. And I did mix up one of the other orchids. Droopy, he's not white with burgundy, he's white with yellow. So just your classic white orchid. Last but not least is this girl. She is stunning. I can't even really pick up how beautiful she is. She's shimmery, and I love the orange in her lips, and the pink is like neon on the outside. It's really beautiful. She's on her way out too. She had like a full spike of flowers. She had 2 spikes, but now she's just getting ready to shed her flowers. So I'm always sad when they drop their flowers, but I'm not as sad as I should be because I always am excited that they're going to be growing. I love when my orchids grow almost as much as I love the flower spikes. I love to see their leaves and the roots, and so I'm not so sad that she's losing her flowers. Let's check out these roots. So lots of roots for this girl too. Not as many as some of my other orchids, but she has decent roots. She's got some air roots, some crazy roots up there. She's looking great. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. I hope this video is not too long. I'm sorry I didn't have more blooms for you. But yeah, you know what? Next year I'll have a lot more. A lot of my orchids I buy at a discount and they take a long time to heal and grow flowers, so that's why I don't have a lot in bloom right now, and a lot of just dropped their flowers. They bloomed really early this year, so unfortunately this update won't be as fun as future updates, but stay tuned.